Big news, folks! Scientists have just cracked the centuries-old puzzle of Oak Island. And trust me, it's a jaw-dropper. For years, treasure hunters have scratched their heads, digging around this mysterious little island off Canada's coast, chasing rumors of hidden riches. But now, a team armed with super high-tech gear has finally figured out what's really going on beneath the surface. And it's not what anyone expected. Before proceeding further, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Using something called ground-penetrating radar, think of it like an X-ray for the Earth, they mapped out a wild underground world of tunnels and chambers. This isn't just some random mess of caves. It's a huge, mind-blowing maze, way bigger than anyone ever guessed. And here's the kicker. It's not natural. Nope, these tunnels line up perfectly in a geometric pattern that matches ancient symbols tied to the Knights Templar. You know, those medieval warrior monks people have whispered about for ages. For a long time, folks thought the Templars might have stashed their legendary treasure on Oak Island. Well, it looks like the researchers finally cracked that code. But hold on, the story gets even wilder. Deep in one of those chambers, they didn't find gold or jewels. They found something way cooler. Ancient writings, sealed up tight in airtight containers, like a time capsule. These texts are written in a mysterious language no one's figured out yet, and they could spill the beans on what those tunnels were really for. Right now, the team's racing to decode these strange writings, hoping to unlock the true story of Oak Island, a secret that's been buried since the 1700s. This tiny, tree-covered island in Nova Scotia has been famous forever thanks to its money pit, a weird hole that's teased treasure hunters with dreams of untold wealth. But after this discovery, it's starting to look like the real treasure isn't gold. It's a hidden history that could rewrite everything we thought we knew. Pirate gold, sparkling jewels lost by Marie Antoinette, and even the legendary Holy Grail. People have dreamed for ages that these treasures might be hiding deep under Oak Island. For over 250 years, adventurers from all over the world have shown up with shovels, drills, and even dynamite, trying to crack the island's secrets. But no matter how hard they tried, Oak Island kept its goodies locked up tight. Until now. One cool find that's got everyone buzzing is a coin linked to the Knights Templar, those mysterious warrior monks from way back. Experts were totally shocked by it. Could this little coin finally shine a light on the Templars and the riches they might have stashed here? If there's treasure to be found, it could be worth a fortune. But even better, it might tell us how powerful the Templars really were. That's got treasure hunters and history buffs everywhere, practically jumping with excitement. Still, Oak Island loves to keep us guessing. Even the smartest folks can't figure it all out yet. What other weird clues or hidden goodies might be waiting down there? Every new discovery, like a medieval crossbow bolt they just found, adds another twist. That bolt's from the 13th century, back when the Templars were crusading around, famous for their secret ways and rumored wealth. Did they visit Oak Island? Maybe even live here? It's starting to look like something big went down on this tiny spot off Canada's coast. Then there's Nolan's Cross, another strange find that's got people whispering about the Templars again. Each clue we dig up is like a puzzle piece, hinting that Oak Island's history might be way wilder than we ever thought. But we're not done yet. There's more to uncover. The deeper we dig, the bigger the mystery gets, leaving us all wondering, what crazy secrets are still hiding under that surface? The Templars might have buried something huge here, and we're just starting to figure it out. When you hear about wild discoveries, don't believe everything right away. Sometimes there's more to the story. Right now, A team's digging into the Oak Island mystery, trying to figure out if there's a secret flood tunnel connected to the famous money pit. They're hunting for clues about where treasure might be hiding deep underground, looking for anything built by human hands. And guess what? They just found a wooden board right at the water level. Now they're wondering, who put this board here? Was it the original folks who hid something? Or maybe later researchers? It's definitely out of place, and that's got them excited. They're poking around for anything else that looks odd, and soon they spot a big old board and a chunky beam that's thicker in some spots than others. They grab the board before digging deeper, hoping it'll spill some secrets. A team member named Emma is jumping in to help. She's great at figuring out how old things are. If they can prove the concrete they found nearby is from the 1960s, it might mean it was made by a family who tried to crack this puzzle years ago. That could lead them straight to the flood tunnel pumping seawater into the money pit. Then they find a huge beam. Solid proof someone was working hard down there. It's thrilling to think this could tell us a big story about what went down on Oak Island. Later that day, Marty Lagina hops on a video call to the war room, where Craig Tester, Rick Lagina, and the crew are hashing it all out. They're on a mission to track down that flood tunnel and solve this mystery for everyone who's tried before them. Every weird find, like that beam, gets their hearts racing. Meanwhile, a metal expert named Akio and Emma Culligan found some big chunks of concrete over at Smith's Cove. They scanned it with a fancy X-ray gadget and figured out it's made with Portland cement, the stuff used in modern building projects, mixed with sand and gravel. Turns out, this kind of cement only comes from a couple of spots in Canada, like Quebec or BC, and the sand in it looks local to Nova Scotia. So now they're piecing together when and who made this stuff. Was it part of the original setup or something newer? Either way, every clue they uncover is like a breadcrumb leading them closer to the truth. A team of treasure hunters on Oak Island is piecing together a wild mystery, and they've just found some big clues. They dug up some old concrete near Smith's Cove that's got everyone talking. It's a special kind mined in Quebec way back in the 1920s. Not the modern stuff you'd see today. The crew thinks it was used to block a flood tunnel, a sneaky trap that pumps seawater into the money pit to keep treasure hunters away. If they're right, this could be a game changer. Then they hit the jackpot. A vertical shaft at Smith's Cove that proves the flood tunnel is real. Craig Tester, Rick Lagina, and Scott Barlow rushed over to check it out. They found a bunch of rocks stacked in a way that doesn't look natural. Big boulders lined up all neat and tidy, with smaller fist-sized rocks tucked underneath. Craig's convinced these were placed by people, not nature, because they're way too organized. If he's right, following this line of rocks could lead them straight to the original money pit, the spot treasure hunters have been chasing for centuries. It's amazing to think how much planning, money, and hard work went into building this tricky setup. The team's not stopping there. They keep digging, and over on Lot 5, Peter Fornetti and metal detecting pro Gary Drayton are sifting through a pile of dirt from a strange round stone foundation. They've already found some cool stuff: 17th century Venetian trade beads, fancy glass from Italy, a mortar-like material that matches dirt from super deep in the money pit, and iron tools tied to Sir William Phipps. Who's that? Just a 17th century English big shot who might have hidden a massive pile of Spanish silver on Oak Island back in 1687. But the real excitement? They found a copper belt plate near that foundation. It could be linked to those iron tools, and if it's got military markings or numbers on it, it might tell them who built this spot, and maybe who buried treasure in the money pit. They carefully bagged it up to study in the lab, buzzing to hear what Emma's got to say about it. The next morning, Craig and the crew meet with Carmen Leger, a blacksmithing expert, to get the scoop on this mysterious copper plate. Every find like this feels like a piece of the puzzle falling into place. The Oak Island story keeps getting juicier, and the team's pumped to see where these clues lead next. Could they finally figure out who hid what and why on this little island? Stay tuned, the Oak Island adventure just keeps getting wilder. A metal expert named Emma Culligan, with help from Akio, is studying a mysterious copper artifact using some seriously cool gadgets, a SkyScan CT scanner and an X-ray fluorescence spectrometer. Say that 5 times fast. They found it's made of copper mixed with zinc, iron, lead, and even a dash of arsenic. The crazy part? This mix suggests it's super old, way older than when folks first found the money pit over 200 years ago. The team thinks it might tie back to Sir William Phipps, a big-deal Englishman who struck it rich in 1687, by finding a sunken ship called the Concepcion. Rumor has it he hid some of that treasure on Oak Island, maybe right on Lot 5. Thanks to a sharp Freemason researcher named Scott Clark, they've got a hot lead on who might have built the island's secret spots, possibly Phipps himself. But here's the catch. Not every clue is legit. Some stories might be pranks or tall tales, so the team's got to stay sharp. As they dig deeper into the money pit, they're uncovering a maze of tunnels, plus all sorts of neat stuff like old artifacts. For years, brave explorers have flocked here, dreaming of finding the legendary loot said to be buried deep underground and finally solving this mystery. Even with all the digging, the money pit still keeps its secrets close, teasing anyone bold enough to try. It's a story packed with gutsy moves, sneaky plans, and the chase for riches beyond your wildest dreams. Recently, the Lagina brothers and their crew hit the jackpot while metal detecting. They found a keyhole shaped like a fancy flower. Could it unlock one of Captain James Anderson's 3 lost treasure chests? This little find has everyone buzzing, adding yet another twist to Oak Island's epic legend and making us wonder, where's that treasure hiding? Every new clue ramps up the mystery, leaving us amazed by this incredible place. Way back in the late 1800s, the Oak Island Treasure Company dug 153 feet down and found what looked like cement. Pretty weird, right? But then they struck something even crazier. A tiny piece of parchment. That scrap could rewrite what we know about history and literature. With every discovery, Oak Island pulls us in deeper, keeping us hooked on its secrets and wondering what's next. Hold on to your hats. Oak Island's latest twist might just rewrite history. There's a wild theory floating around that a piece of parchment found deep in the money pit could hold lost writings by none other than William Shakespeare. Yep, the famous playwright. Some folks think he, or maybe someone connected to him, stashed it there centuries ago. This idea gets even juicier when you toss in Francis Bacon, a 16th century brainiac who dabbled in science, writing, and exploration. A few people swear Bacon was the real genius behind Shakespeare's plays. If this parchment proves that theory, it could flip everything we know about one of the world's greatest authors. But that's not all. There's another character in this Oak Island saga, Samuel Ball. Born into tough times in South Carolina, he fought for the British during the American Revolution, then moved to Nova Scotia and bought land on Oak Island. Recently, folks found coins, buttons, and even a piece of a revolver on his old property, Lot 24. Now everyone's wondering, was Samuel hunting for treasure too? These little finds are like breadcrumbs, hinting at what he might have been up to, but we don't have the full story yet. Oak Island's famous for keeping its secrets, and there's probably more waiting to be dug up. Take the granite stone, for example. It's a head-scratcher that's puzzled treasure hunters forever. Found by chance in the money pit, it's covered in weird carvings no one can crack. Some say those symbols might be a treasure map, pointing straight to the island's legendary loot. But here's the catch. We're still guessing about what it really means. Without solid proof, it's all rumors and dreams. But that just makes it more exciting for the explorers and history buffs trying to figure it out. And speaking of big names, Sir William Phipps is back in the spotlight too. You won't believe what's just popped up on this mysterious island. It's a 300-year-old puzzle that keeps us hooked. Want the latest scoop? Check out the video link for more jaw-dropping discoveries. Oak Island's full of surprises, and every find pulls us deeper into its crazy, treasure-filled tale. In 1687, the English politician and naval captain made 2 successful salvages of the famed Spanish treasure wreck, known as the Conception, which sank off the coast of the Dominican Republic in 1641. After recovering over 34 tons of the valuables during his first mission, Phipps returned to the wreck with the help of a Freemason named Captain Andrew Belcher, who delivered less than 5 additional tons of treasure to the English crown. Clark strongly believes that Belcher and his comrades were actually transferring treasure from the Conception to the Oak Island area. If the team can prove that Sir William Phipps and Andrew Belcher are connected to the rounded feature on Lot 5, it could also explain who constructed the vault in the swamp, where former landowner Anthony Graves may have discovered a cache of Spanish silver. If so, might that reveal who created the Eye of the Swamp as a secret calling card? The team acknowledges that finding more vaults in the swamp or on Lot 5 could be proof. But there is still more work to be done. The discovery of more vaults in the swamp or Unlocked 5 could be a little bit of the treasure. Metal detection expert Gary Drayton and his nephew Alex Lagina are searching for additional clues to solve the Oak Island mystery. The team has recently recovered metal ship spikes in the area that predate the discovery of the money pit in 1795, as well as a 14th-century lead cross, which may be connected to the Christian military order of the Knights Templar. The team is excited about the potential of the artifacts trapped under the giant rock in Smith's Cove. They need to dig quickly because the rocks keep filling back in, making it difficult to find them. They decide to bring more shovels and expand the hole to dig out the artifacts at the depth of the hole. They discover a large, heavily encrusted metal object beneath the shoreline of Smith's Cove. The object is believed to be a big iron conglomerate coming off a wreck. Archaeologist Laird Niven and archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan have been analyzing the large iron object and have successfully removed corroded materials from its surface. The object is found to be a cast iron stove door with a starburst design similar to the button found in 2023 in the stone feature on Lot 5. Gary questions whether these artifacts are related to each other, as the starburst design on the stove door could be a popular design on stoves. Back in the day, Emma explains that cast iron stoves can date back to the mid-1700s, but the manganese content in the stove pushes it towards the mid-1800s. The team needs to find out the design of the stove to help them get closer to solving the Oak Island mystery. They are excited about the potential of the artifacts trapped under the rock and the challenges they face in digging deeper into the hole. The Oak Island team is determined to uncover the mystery behind the mysterious artifacts by collaborating with archaeologists Laird and Emma Culligan. Their goal is to uncover the design of the stove door and its connection to the medieval button found in 2023. The story revolves around a team of researchers at Smith's Cove, searching for the legendary flood tunnel believed to feed seawater into the original money pit. The team is led by Craig Tester and Rick Lagina, who are searching for the vertical shaft. That could be the shaft they are looking for. They are in the area where the rest of us put wooden forms down the hole, but their forms blew out and they lost the hole. The team is finding wood and metal detectors, which they believe could be proof of the shaft construction. They also find a modern nail, which they believe is the rest-all shaft. This modern nail could offer an important clue that the team may be close to finding the wooden frame or forms built by the rest of family. In 1961, when they poured concrete into the vertical shaft, as they continue digging in Smith's Cove, they find traces of the restall activity, such as a broken spike and a rounded, beveled point. If they confirm the location of the vertical shaft, they can hopefully find the flood tunnel itself, as it is a direct connection to the treasure. The next 5 to 10 feet will provide more information about the location of the money pit in Smith's Cove. The team is determined to continue digging and finding clues to the location of the money pit location.